Splash. All right, I'll be right back 1 second.
Columbia is out of contact during the OMS burn. Mission Control will not know if this burn was successful until they are in communication with the spacecraft over Australia. It is now over the Indian Ocean on the other side of the world, but from that distance the burn must be precise so that later Columbia will hit the lake bed target in California.
Columbia, this is Houston through Yargady. We're standing by.
Burn was on time at nominal reserve 110.
Columbia is now committed to entry. With an RCS post-burn maneuver and several firings, it is oriented to a heads-up, nose-first attitude headed toward entry interface. This is where the atmosphere begins, at approximately 400,000 feet. From that moment until the shuttle reaches 165,000 feet, it will be in communication blackout, out of touch with Mission Control for almost 20 minutes. The landing site is almost 4,400 miles from entry interface. Chase planes are preparing to take off. One will call out altitudes and check Columbia for any damage just prior to landing. When the shuttle touches down here, it will be traveling at 216 miles per hour. Right now it's going more than 17,000 miles per hour. Before it lands, it must slow down, lose energy, and it must survive the intense heat caused by traveling through the atmosphere at such a high rate of speed. Several S-turns or roll reversals are used to slow down and maneuver Columbia through the atmosphere. This one is done at 256,000 feet when it is traveling at more than 26 times the speed of sound. This one is done at 208,000 feet. During these two roll reversals, entry heating is most severe, with temperatures reaching 2,500 degrees some places on the vehicle. The aluminum skin will melt at 320 degrees. The silicate tiles must insulate the vehicle from the tremendous heat. Since there is no test facility on Earth to simulate the aerodynamic and structural environment Columbia is in right now, only calculations could be used to predict what would happen during this phase of the flight. The predictions and calculations had to be right.
Hello there, Houston, Columbia's here.
Hello, Columbia, Houston's here. How do you read?
Flying clear, and we're doing Mach 10.3 at 180 AS.
And we couldn't agree more, John. Your state vector's good. We've got good data in-house.
Okay.
The entry trajectory, velocity, and position look good. Columbia is heading for home, now only 470 miles away.
Nothing more left RCS, but okay. Right, we're showing a roll.
And John, we're showing you rolling right. Looking good.
Right, I'm on roll.
We're showing him crossing the coastline flat.
Columbia, we show you crossing the coast now.
Right, yeah. We can go.
The shuttle is first sighted at about 100,000 feet with a long-range camera from Anderson Peak, California.
What a way to come to California.
In flight paddle, I still look perfect right on the nominal.
Roger that. Out of 112K, 4.8 Mach.
We're seeing this in a row.
We see DELAZ 21 degrees.
A roll reversal is done over Bakersfield, California.
Oh, that's beautiful. Trace has a tally. Roger, checking.
And we're seeing 1.3 Gs coming around the hat.
Roger that.
The astronauts are making the final turn to line up with the runway.
Columbia, you're really looking good. Right on the money. Right on the money. And turning on to final, your winds on the surface are calm.
I got a wind.
You're right on the glide slope, Columbia.
Clear, John. Looks real good underneath. Everything looks real good.
Chase reports no tile or other damage is evident underneath the shuttle. Columbia's altitude is now just over 5,000 feet.
Pretty clear.
Without power, Columbia must land. It cannot make another attempt.
You're coming. You're down. Feet. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Those gears, 10, 5, 4, 3, touchdown. Look at off, skipper. Columbia's on the roller.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
You want us to take it up in the hangar, Joe?
We're going to dust it off first.
This is the world's greatest all-electric flying machine, I'll tell you that. It was super.
Okay, convoy's on its way.
Convoy launch. We'll stop on the Columbia. We'll stop.
The maiden voyage of Columbia has been a success. The astronauts and the vehicle have met or exceeded all 144 flight test objectives. The integrity of all the systems, propulsion, avionics, structural, flight control, power, and thermal, have been affirmed. John Young's comments after returning home.
I can't tell you what a tribute that is to the American working man and the American working woman, too. You can't imagine the variety of people who worked on this vehicle, from all walks of life, all capabilities and limitations. It's all due to their individual efforts. They proved that they can do the job. They proved it for the world to see. And I'm mighty proud to be associated with folks like that.
What a tribute indeed.
Well said.
The Columbia represents an achievement in aerospace technology and development never before realized in the history of manned spaceflight. It is our basic building block for the future.
Guys, if you've seen me watch this before, you know I've watched this way too many times. I don't know if you can tell. But my favorite thing about this is that, so John Young, if there's any Formula One fans out there, he's the Kimi Räikkönen of astronauts. He just doesn't care. Like, he's just cool as a cucumber. Like, even during the STS-1 launch, 80 BPM at launch, never flown this thing before, commanding it for the first time, doesn't care. Just, yeah, this is nice. Oh, yeah, we're flying into space now. Guy stayed cool whole time. Walked on the moon. Been only him. There's only three people ever that have been out of low Earth orbit twice. John Young, Jim Lovell, and Gene Cernan. That's it. Nobody else ever flew to the moon twice. He's been to the moon twice, or he had gone to the moon twice. Apollo 10, the lunar orbit, and Apollo 16 landing on the surface. Right? This guy just kept doing his thing. commanded the first shuttle mission, STS-1, and was the first guy to command the shuttle for a second time, STS-9. He was slated, John Young was slated to launch the Hubble Space Telescope, and then Challenger happened, and then he said, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. So, the guy to poker face. The guy to poker face. Never freaked out, never showed any emotion. I mean, you listen to him on the comms, he's like, yep, we're landed. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty awesome machine, right? With that being said, look at this dude. I'll play that clip again without the sound. Just watch John Young. Just watch. Oh man, this thing's a freaking machine, dude. Look at it. You see this thing? You see this thing? I landed this thing. Look at this. I'm gonna shake your hand, sir, and I'm gonna shake your hand too. Here, come here. Yep, shake it, man. Look at this. This is. Oh man, this thing's a beast. Like, dude, guy is freaking comes out of his shuttle gung ho. He's like, I just landed this mother right here. You know, the guy was always cool, right? But he's seeing this thing. He's like, look, he's walking back there. This is the best part. He's walking around. Dude, the guy doesn't even know where he's at right now. Like, that's the coolest part, dude. He's so freaking hyped up. He walks back to the guys in the escape suits. These are the guys that are purging propellants that you really shouldn't be breathing. And he's like, I want to shake your hand. Come here. You know? He's like walking around the trucks. Yeah. Watch. He goes around the corner, sees that they're hydrazine guys and said, all right, good job. All right. Nope, never mind. Yeah. It's the best, dude. It makes me laugh every time, man. I love it. The guy was cool as a cucumber the entire time. And he comes out of the shuttle. He's like, this thing is awesome. You know? How did the astronauts get into the shuttle while it was on top of a 747 for the initial tests? They got into the shuttle and then took off in the shuttle. You didn't transfer mid-flight. Now, watch Crip. What do you think Crip says here? Look at this. Watch. Boy, I tell you, that thing was one ride, man. I'll tell you that. It's the best pen flip. Woohoo! No, that's Bob Crippen, RJ. Yeah. That's cool, right?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Tipsy. 53 months. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? Also, one more thing. There's a shot of John Young walking around the shuttle that I just showed a second ago. I don't know why. It's probably just the lens that this camera was using. This conveys the scale of the shuttle pretty well. The shuttle is bigger than what your mind comprehends. Like, I don't know what that's about. Like, you think you know how big it is, and then look at this next shot. Like, dude, it is a monster. That is not a small vehicle. Look at that thing. It's freaking huge. Go see one in a museum. Well, yeah. Some people aren't afforded that, but can't afford to do that, you know, because maybe they're overseas or something. But dude, if you're near one, go and see it. It is nuts. You don't realize how big that thing is. You could fit a school bus in the payload bay. How was your shuttle landing? Just fine. Yep. It's big. It's very big. I mean, like, was a large letter crane or bucket? They probably just used a cherry picker or something. Yeah, I've seen this picture get thrown around, T-Man. Here, look. I've seen this picture get thrown around a lot. I don't know who made this picture. Cybertruck is too small. People are not taller than a Cybertruck. No way. Cybertruck's too small in this picture. Not a chance. The Cybertruck is gigantic for what it is. They didn't even use a chute. No, the chute didn't come around until the late 80s, early 90s, Argon. Yeah. The guy might actually be a little bit too tall. Now that I'm looking at this, yeah, no, Cybertruck's just a smidge too small in this picture. How big is Buran compared to the shuttle? Buran is the same size. The Buran has slightly bigger wings, though. The wings on it are just a smidge bigger. My guess is because it was engineered in metric, and the shuttle probably wasn't. So just you don't get an exact 1-to-1. Is there any launch today? No. There's a launch in 10 hours from now, though. Am I going to that? Yeah, I'll try. See what we can do. Nader, got to stop away for a bit. I don't know if I'll be back before you end the stream or not. Fantastic streak today. Just a reminder to upload SERV. Yeah. If I can remember, dude, it's gonna be a long stream. That's why I said remind me. But so I might be here when you get back. So enjoy. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. 10 hours. Will you stream? I can make it to 2:30. The real question is, how badly do I want to screw up my sleep schedule? And with that being said, let's start space news, and let's see what's up. How about we start with missions this week, for the remainder of the week. So, there's a Long March 2, which, whatever. They're not going to stream it anyway. And then there's Electron, Live and Let Fly, the L-123 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office. That's happening at 2:40. That is 10 hours. 10 hours and 8 minutes from now. This one is cool because it's going out of Rocket. It's going out at Rocket Lab's LC2 pad at Wallops. This one's flying out of Virginia, which is pretty sweet. And this might get a little bit hard and heavy here over the next couple of days if you look at the schedule. We have MS-25, which is MS-25 is a Soyuz. It's Soyuz 2-1, so there's people on that. That's on Thursday. And then there's CRS-30, also on Thursday at 4:55 p.m. That's at 9:21. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So we have a National Reconnaissance mission here. We have astronaut and cosmonaut mission to the ISS there. And then an ISS resupply in less than 24 hours. Might want to sleep if you're going hard with the space launches. Skip Electron? Skip Electron? And then on Friday, Starlink at 7:55 during NASA Spaceflight Live. And then next Monday, there's Starlink 646. And then Delta should be sometime next week. So we have, through the rest of this week, we have 4 rocket launches, which is pretty sweet. And for once, most of them aren't Starlink. So, are you taking the time to invest in some toothpicks? Oh, crap. Yes. Also, I went to the P.O. box today. And then I went to the P.O. box today and I opened up packages that I've had from previous P.O. box trips. I haven't gotten around to opening them, but I did open them today. So let me tell you a little bit about what we got in the P.O. box. I got a Buc-ee's hat, which is pretty cool. Here, I'll show it to you. See the Buc-ee's hat right there? I got a Buc-ee's hat.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I got goldfish. Somebody sent me just a big carton of goldfish. Yep. And then, I swear, one of you melon farmers is trying to kill me. Let me show you. Did you get the thing? I got one of the things, all system. Just here, let me show you. Somebody's being a diesel. Somebody's being a diesel. Because somebody sent me a case of Red Bull. My fridge is full of it. Are you trying to get me killed? I can't have that there. That's awful. That's worse than the toothpicks. Excuse me, I need a toothpick. All right, this one, what are these? These are blue raspberry. Yes. Max. Freaking piss drink.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Blue raspberry, tasty. You've earned those wings, so thank you to the people that sent that. I do appreciate it, except for the Red Bull. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I should not have a 24-pack of Red Bull in the fridge. I mean, if you're staying up for Electron, be right back ordering a pallet of toothpicks. Unrelated question, what's your P.O. box? I don't know. Now you need a case of Monster? Bro, I don't need kidney stones, okay? To confirm you got the metal thing. I have something in a longer box. Do I have it there? Hold on. Did I put it down there? It's on the couch. It's on the couch. I didn't want it messing with my exhaust parts that I still have to put together. Waz, my dad just finished bottling a batch of fresh Quebec maple syrup. Do you want a bottle? Yes. P.O. Box is on Discord. Don't tell Gravshark, okay? Chew the toothpick while drinking Red Bull. I don't think that's a good idea. Would you be able to see Electron if it's clear from your house? Yes. You're supposed to mix Jaeger with Monster. Make Jaeger bombs. Oh. You backstabbing rooster teeth. Bro, this squirrel is trying to kill me. So, we have a lot. Let's see. I don't see much going on in terms of space news posts here. But SpaceX did post some sweet pictures of Dragon. Now, a little bit about this. We did talk about it briefly yesterday. So this is Complex 40, Space Launch Complex 40 down at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. That's Cape Canaveral for just anybody who's wondering. KSC is just north of here, Kennedy Space Center. This is a NASA mission. It is a resupply mission, and it marks the first time that a Dragon 2, I was right. I guessed. I wasn't sure at the time. But it marks the first time a Dragon 2 capsule has been on Complex 40. Pad 40 had launched up to the International Space Station previously, but they were all Dragon 1 capsules. The Dragon 2 capsule, here, this is a resupply variant of the Dragon 2 capsule, is being used right now for the first time on this pad with a Falcon 9 to send something to the ISS. Pad 40 has received a lot of upgrades over the past 8 months. One of them being this, nice big tower, and then the slide wire. I don't know if we should call those slide wires the slide wire slide thing that we saw SpaceX sending people down yesterday. Green Harbor, yep. I think I'll send this to you. Oh, boy. So, yeah, this marks the first time a Dragon 2 is actually launching from Complex 40. The last Dragon to launch from this was... give me 1 second. I already have the Firefly link from when you linked it before. You know how I know? Because I told you, Creeper, that I already had it. Just letting you know. I got the other ones, though. Thank you. Let me see. What? I want to guess CRS-20, but I'm not sure. Yep. CRS-20. That was the last time a Dragon launched from Pad 40. 2020 seems like it was both 10 years ago and 20 minutes ago at the same time. Thanks, pandemic. Very cool. But, yeah, still sweet. Hang on one second. Oh, give me one moment. I'm just messing with the links. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. With that being said, I'll transfer the rest of the links here, and we'll see what's going on in the space industry. A lot going on with Firefly, huh? All right, let's see what we got. What's the main difference with Dragon 1 and Dragon 2? Dragon 2 is built around human raiding, Huggy, and Dragon 1 is not. That's the big one. Yeah, Dragon 2 is designed to have people on board. The Dragon 2 uncrewed cargo vessel that we just saw is based off of the human-rated capsule. Yep. SpaceX did that to minimize processing operations so they can flip the capsules around quicker. Like, when the capsule comes down and lands, it's the same process to refurbish the capsule. It's the same process to refurbish the capsule, for the most part, as a crew-rated one. Actually, the uncrewed, the resupply ones are actually a little simpler, but it's a simplified version of the same process, so they can maintain the same processing flow. So every time a Dragon capsule comes in, there's a set amount of stuff that you need to do, and just a little bit of an extra checklist if there was people on board. You know what I'm saying? Hang on. Brimo? No, it wasn't Brimo on the phone. Anyway, got the empty the Louvre the crew one, I guess. Like I said, added checklist. All right, what else do we got? Let me just go back over here. Okay, so Firefly doing some work here. Firefly has a picture of one of their rocket engines working on the test stand. We're pumped to share our latest Miranda hot fire that successfully tested our proprietary tap-off combustion cycle, period, exclamation point. This development engine features a truncated nozzle to enable rapid iteration while characterizing engine performance. Interesting, truncated nozzle. Yeah, see how the nozzle looks like it's kind of wrapping around right there? Pretty cool. Stay tuned for more updates as we gear up for our next big milestone, the first Miranda hot fire in our brand new multi-bay engine test stand. All right, let's see what we got. Headphone users, this could get loud. Headphone users. Headphone users. Ready? You know. Louder! Yeah. So the truncated nozzle, if you guys look, it looks like the nozzle kind of wraps around right there. I'm pretty sure that that's what they're referring to. Did we get a green flash? Oh yeah, triethyl aluminum and triethyl borane, pyrophoric igniters. See the green? And then yeet! Yeet! Cool. That's awesome. So, yeah, that wasn't a full duration firing, obviously. They're just testing it. They're testing... You're going to do little sputters like that before you go and actually do a full duration burn, which is pretty cool. Firefly doing work. In other news, Northrop Grumman, Firefly again. And thank you for the links, Creeper, by the way. Drum roll, please. In partnership with Firefly Space, we're expanding access to space with our co-developed medium launch vehicle. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Huh. You just crudely pasted MLV over Antares in this picture. So yeah, this is the successor to Antares because Northrop Grumman was launching a launch vehicle for ISS resupply called Antares 230 Plus. To be a little candid on my part, the first stage, the tankage for the first stage was made in the Ukraine and the engines were made in Russia. Let's just say that the supply chains for those dried up, and leave it at that. Fair? So, they're making MLV, medium launch vehicle. We don't know what that entails. They should have made Omega. Yeah, I said it out loud. I don't care. I told you I was being candid. But, yeah, pretty cool. And Firefly seems to be supplying the engines. No way. Hold on. Bandit, you just linked this. This is AMSAT DL. Really? Let's keep an eye on it. Supposedly, this is the... So this isn't Intuitive Machines. This is a satellite antenna operator that was tracking the mission with their antennas. So it looks like they're receiving a frequency that was on par with the frequency that Odie was transmitting before the lunar night. The Intuitive Machines lander, Odysseus, so Nova C class lander, landed on the moon and then tipped over. And it went into they did the mission and they got 350 megabytes of data, which is good, and got some good science from it. But because it was tipped over, it was kind of hard to get an antenna signal from it. And then it went into the lunar night, and they put the thing on standby. But there seems to be a pretty solid signal here. That's what this line is right there. There seems to be a pretty solid signal on the frequency that they were communicating on. So maybe it survived the lunar night. Not a lot of things survive lunar night, guys. It gets really freaking cold, and you're in the vacuum. So it gets...
Discovery,
cold
throttle up.
Squared, but not cold, but cold. Let's just say that. So, AMSAT was pretty spot on with what they were seeing when the mission was working, right? And that looks a lot like the signal that we saw when the mission was working. So I'm not going to say that this is total confirmation, but keep an eye on Intuitive Machines Twitter. See what they say. That's pretty freaking cool, man. That was 15 minutes ago, so we'll see. We'll see. Is Odie coming back into the lunar daylight again? I would imagine that it wouldn't be strong enough to transmit a signal in standby mode, geeks. So yeah, that's the implication here. It's the right amount of time, to be honest. Right amount of time. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hopefully. Bandit, thanks for that link. That was a good one. Good news. All right. What else do we got here? Holy crap, they're actually doing something. I don't know who Andrew Parsonson is. I'm on a mission to promote European spaceflight contributor to Space News. Oh, okay, cool. What is Andrew saying here on the Twitterers? The first of 2 boosters for the maiden Ariane 6 flight has been assembled and tested and is ready to fly. It has been transported to a storage building in Kourou to await integration. Oh, P-120s. Very nice. It's a wild Ariane 6 SRB. T-Man, I have a question. Did you just link what is, like, actually... You just linked the tweet that I'm actually looking at on the stream right now? Like, that just happened? Or was there chat delay? I want this. The rocket part is cool, but this thing is really neat. Can I have one of those? I don't know what that is. Just thought you'd like to see it twice. Ariane 6, the rocket's so nice, you'd want to see it launch at least twice. Yeah, I won't do that again. But that's cool. They're starting to move parts for Ariane 6 maiden flight. The maiden flight should be happening probably sometime in this year. It's a Renault LM? Oh, never mind. Ariane 6 is already outdated? I wouldn't call it outdated. Is that a transformer? More than meets the eye? It's possible. Bumblebee. Stop lubricating the man. Cool. That's cool, man. I'm happy to see them do something. Dude, the European, I'm not going to say the European space program is in trouble, because that's not true. They do have a lot of awesome science missions that they're still working on, and they're fantastic missions. Arianespace, the launch providers, and Avio, you got problems. Since COVID, a lot of missions going out of Kourou have not been completed. Vega has malfunctioned 3 times, if memory serves me right. And Ariane 5 launched its last booster. Ariane 5 launched its last booster late last year. So Ariane 5 is done, and they're retooling for Ariane 6. And the vehicle that's supposed to be picking up the slack in the meantime, Vega, exploded. And then they tried to fix it, and it exploded again. And then they tried to fix that, and it exploded on a test stand. Got a little bit of a problem here. They don't have. There's a gap in capability here. So I guarantee you that the Europeans are pushing for getting this thing up and running. But the thing is that when you're in development, when you're in final development operations, like when you're certifying for a test flight using the non-iterative design here, you really shouldn't rush. You don't rush the development. That's how stuff breaks. If I recall correctly, that's exactly what happened with Ariane 5's first launch. They rushed the development and put Ariane 4's computer on Ariane 5, and it didn't like it. It flipped over. It tried to do a flip. You ever launch in Kerbal and have your rocket flip around? That's what it did in real life. That was back in the 90s, though. I think those are Ariane 5 mobile launchers behind it, but I'm not 100% sure. Those could be Ariane 5 MLs. It protoned? Yeah, it protoned before proton. It didn't explode. The explosion was omnidirectional instead of unidirectional. I don't know how that is different, but all right. Haven't like 3 rockets done that trying to use old computers? Delta 3 did that. Ariane 5 did that. What would the third one be, Fish? Huh. That guy is playing Galaga. He thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. Booster 7. Does that count? I mean, here's spitball. Yeah, I think Delta 3 and Ariane 5 both did something like that. Where's this launch base located at? That's Kourou, French Guiana in South America. It's just north of Brazil, just north of the Amazon River Delta. Yeah, Kourou. 2012 beams want their year back. Yeah, well, you're an eggplant. You're a cantaloupe. We don't talk about Delta 3 anymore. Actually, come next week, we won't talk about Delta 4 anymore either, and that's just a shame. ULA is doing all this actually a cool social media campaign to send off Delta in style. Here, I'll show you. Sorry about that. Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. Very nice. Yeah, so Delta 4 is called the most metal rocket in existence because it lights itself on fire right before it launches. Why does this happen? And is that good for it? It's not good for it if you're looking to reuse it. But for Delta, it's fine. Yeah, it's no big deal. It's not like you're getting those boosters back. Whatever. So why does it do that? Well, the RS-68A engines that are in Delta 4 Heavy are an open-cycle Hydrolox gas generator engine, meaning there's dumps from the liquid fuel turbo pump and the oxidizer turbo pump. And when you go to turn the engines on, right before engine ignition, this thing dumps a crazy amount of liquid oxygen, well, gaseous oxygen and gaseous hydrogen out the bottom of it. And then the engine ignites. The end result here is a gigantic cloud of hydrogen and gaseous hydrogen and oxygen getting burned off very quickly. There are sparkers down here, if you see the radial outward firing igniters, the ROFIs right there, that are designed to help get rid of the flame, but it's still, it actually used to be worse back in the day. A thing that ULA did is actually sequence the rocket engines. So they fire one CBC, and then they fire the other two right after. You can see the flames are bigger over here. So some ignition sequence timing and the radial outward firing igniters actually mitigate most of the fireball. But there have been deltas in the past that launch and the flames are up to the nose cones. Oh yeah, it's pretty damn cool. Yeah. Now, a little bit on reusability. The shuttle engines did something similar to this, but they found because of the fuel-rich stage combustion cycle engines on the shuttle, the sparkers were enough to make it not do that. I don't think I need to tell you why that would be bad, during a shuttle launch, which leads me back into the first thing that I said. Is that okay to do? It's okay if you're not trying to reuse something. Sure, why not? Works fine for Delta. It's the most metal rocket. Wasn't that engine supposed to be an expendable version of an RS-25? RS-68As? Yeah, basically. It is, yeah. I mean, yes and no. The RS-68A program is not necessarily, it's RS-25 derived for sure, but it takes some design cues from it, but it's not like a J2 to a J2X or an RL-10A to an RL-10E. They took some components, like the main combustion chamber, from the RS-25 and the RS-68 are similar, right? But since the RS-68 actually is supposed to be a less expensive, expendable version of the shuttle engine, that's why they have it. That's why they made it. Take some of the tech from the shuttle engine, all the good stuff, and instead of trying to make it reusable, right? They make an expendable variant. It's not exactly the same fish, but it's derived from it. I wouldn't say they're like in the same lineage of engines. But yeah, that's what it was supposed to be there for. Now, R68s are actually super cool. R68As have the nozzle is a one and done nozzle. It's an ablative nozzle. They make the nozzle out of heat shield, believe it or not. Yeah, nozzle out of heat shield. And that's how the nozzle stays cool. The inside of the nozzle is lined with ablative material. So that's how it stays cool. That's fine if you only want to use it once. Unlike the shuttle nozzles that circulate propellant through the nozzle to keep the engine cool so the metal doesn't melt. Makes sense. I've always wondered why they didn't use that on SLS. I anticipated this question. Yeah, this is why I mentioned the ablative nozzles. Grouping RS-68As together doesn't end well. The reason why is that if you don't have them spread apart like this on 3 different boosters with a good amount of distance between each one, RS-68s operating in close proximity to each other will melt the nozzles from the inside out, or from the outside in. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. Controlling your heat in a clustered engine design is very, very hard to do, especially if you don't have a cryogenically cooled nozzle. If you're using an ablator nozzle, there's really no way to control the heat. They ran into this problem with the Saturn V as well. And even then, the Saturn V... Even then, the Saturn V still had problems with the nozzles here. You can see that from here, from this from the gas generator dump manifold here forward, see these kind of veins right there? It looks like it's a bunch like ridged almost. That's the plumbing to move propellants through this part of the nozzle. But even then, that's great for this part of the nozzle. The nozzle extension here doesn't have any type of cooling like that, to my knowledge. And a problem that they had with the F1s on the way up, you had 5 of these things right next to each other, like maybe a couple meters away from each other, right? The problem isn't keeping the nozzle cool on the inside. The problem was all the heat that's generated from the outside. So if you look at a Saturn V launch, right? I don't know if we can... If you look at a Saturn V launch, we see if we can get some pictures of the engines. The engines are wrapped in asbestos. There we go, E8 camera. See how the engine looks like the Michelin Man right there? They're wrapped in asbestos. That was their solution. I don't think that solution will fly very well with an RS-68, even though it could. I mean, I don't see why not. So when they went to make Ares 5 for the Constellation program, the original idea was to cluster 5 RS-68s in the core stage. I still believe Ares 5 should have been made. Ares 5 is one of the coolest launch vehicles around. But one of the problems with that is that clustering 5 RS-68s next to each other, you run into the exact same problem. They'll melt each other's nozzles from the outside. On the toolbox, baby.
What?
The keys.
I was just coming to say hi.
Oh, you're just coming to say hi? I thought you were trying to go somewhere, that's all.
No.
Oh, sweet. You're just coming to say hi. How you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good.
I just realized those are sagging. We should probably fix that.
Okay.
Hi, chat.
Rimo's here.
I am here.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere. I was like, the keys are on my toolbox. Sorry.
I don't got nowhere to go.
Oh, right on. Here. Sit down. Enjoy chat's company. We're talking about Ares 5.
Ooh.
See? Clustering the engines created too much heat. That's one of the reasons why, one of their cited reasons for why Ares 5 didn't, they went with SLS instead because the heat, because RS-25s, because it's a regenerative cooling, you can cluster them together.
What's cup?
What's cuh? Did you see EJ's snacks?
What snacks you got? What snacks did you get?
On the tailgate of the truck,
Ah.
I opened the P.O. box and there was goldfish in a Bucky's hat.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And then chat's trying to kill me
Why?
because the fridge is full of Red Bull.
Chat! Chat! Chat!
You did this. This is your fault. This is your fault, not mine. You.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Not mad, just disappointed. SMH my head. Should have stopped the goldfish in the hat. I tried to. Somebody in chat ruined it. So I figure I'd be preemptive and not lie to my wife because that's messed up. Chat.
Chat, do you know how long it took to get this man off Red Bull? Do you know what Red Bull does to this man's stomach? Do you know the things that you're inflicting upon me? Do you have any idea, chat?
Do you have any idea?
Do you realize?
Yeah, caffeine overdose is wrong. More energy equals more stream equals more money. Bro, don't use this as an opportunity to earn points. Don't twist what? Don't twist what? You did this. For what? For what? For a bunch of dead guys?
Yeah, how many toothpicks is that today?
1.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I had 1 today. That's what this is.
Oh, okay. So this is your second toothpick.
Yeah, that one right there. See, that one's still wet.
Oh.
That one's dry.
So this is your second one.
Second one.
Okay. Curse these toothpicks.
At least I was a good boy and sent a Bucky's hat. See, old Force, you're all right. You're all right. Oh. Rolled 9. Okay. Okay.
Good!
You're bad luck.
This is what chat deserves for buying you Red Bull. Can I talk to you while you run the ad?
You were coming up here for no reason, huh?
Well, also to say hi. I didn't say I was coming up here for no reason. I said I was coming up here to say hi.
Sure, Jan.
What do you mean?
Sure, Jan. All right. Enjoy your ads. I'll be right back. Yeah. I love you too, baby. Yeah, why do you gotta be like this? What's wrong with you? We're back, and we have the combination.
We do. I can't remember the next line, but I know the combination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go. There you go.
I hurt my toe improving last night, and now I don't know if I should walk my 2 miles.
Chat, what do you think I'm going to say to this?
I jammed it.
That's wonderful. Get on the treadmill, please.
Okay.
Face the wall, please.
You're not getting yelled at for sending a Bucky's hat, Nova. I'm not upset about the Bucky's hat. I'm upset about the Red Bull.
Face the treadmill, please. Sounds like a good reason to start swimming.
In what pool?
Our neighbors have a pool
Yeah.
that they let us go into constantly.
It's March 20th, 2024. The pool is not open.
Plan ahead. You could go to the YMCA.
I'm not going to the YMCA.
Why not? Oh, yeah, Young Men's Club of America. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Cold water will be good for you. There's no water in it.
I'm just going to break everything else.
New project for the summer. Build a pool in the woods.
All right. I'll let you get back to your SPAC.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for visiting.
Of course. I love you.
I love you too.
And I wanted to say hi.
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 Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Bye.
Hey. Hey.
Bye.
Hey.
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 Bill!
Bill! Bill! Bill!
At least that wasn't weird. Yeah, Starshield Hellfish. Yeah, the Starlink mission 7-16 that went out of Vandenberg the other day. Yeah, there were some top secret satellites on board. Top satellites. Skated? It's not concave, man. It's like a pool that's got like squares. Sucks. Neuralink update in 15 minutes. Cool. Cool. Okay. No, read into it. It's pretty wild. No, I'm good. I'm good, dog. Whatever you do, just wash your hands. All right. Anyway, so yeah, there's a little bit on propulsion. Now let's get into the next bit of news. What's this next bit? Oh, going back to Ariane 6. The Ariane 6 booster is ready and on the move. Here seen rumbling along at a slower pace. Once alight, this booster will help propel Europe's new rocket, Ariane 6, to supersonic speeds in just 46 seconds. I wonder who does the propulsion for this thing. $900. We saw that already. Well, it says Euro. Yeah, Euro propulsion. No, I don't think so. I don't think Euro does the propulsion. To be honest with you. No. I don't. I think you guys are wrong. Anyway. What's this? NASA Space Operations. What do you got here? What's that you got there? Orbital beef. Orbital beef. Don't whisper me links, please. Get link permission like everybody else, fellas. I'm not going to say names. Please don't do that. A DM to me is for emergencies only. Okay? Let's see. A NASA-funded commercial space station, Blue Origin's Orbital Reef, recently completed testing milestones for its critical life support system as part of the agency's efforts for new destinations in low Earth orbit. The 4 milestones are part of NASA's Space Act agreement originally awarded to Blue in 2021 and focused on the materials and designs for systems to clean, reclaim, and store the air and water critical for human spaceflight. NASA is working closely with commercial companies to develop new space stations capable of providing services to NASA and others, which will ensure that the U.S. maintains a continuous human presence in low Earth orbit and provides direct benefits for the people on Earth. Yeah, Orbital Reef. Nice. How many next years is that away? Probably like 3.1415963 something or other. Repeating, of course. Yeah, 900, yeah. AMSAT got a signal for Odie, so I said keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Mouth. Keep an eye on Intuitive Machines social media. We might get something here in a second. Just, yeah, believe me. I'll know when that happens. Like 30 people will spam it in chat. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You sure it's repeating? No. I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. All right. They said 3 weeks from sleep. Today's 3 weeks to the day for Odysseus. There you go. There you go. So, yeah, we got the Rocket Lab L123 mission happening here. There's some pictures, Rocket Lab promo here. Join the launch team, and your office could look like this. There's just awesome pictures of the rocket right there. That's pretty cool. That doesn't suck. Yeah, here's this vehicle that launches things into space. Yeah, just push it out on caster wheels, whatever. That guy is determined to move that. Look at the determination. Look at the fine texture of this meatloaf.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Halo, 33-month resub. Thank you. Yeah, those are just caster wheels. Neat. Momento. Very nice. Hey, I think you might want to remove that.
Discovery, go at throttle
Hey,
up.
Barak, 60 months, dude. You got your worm. All right. Way to go, dude. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yes. This rocket will be launching at 2:30 in the morning. Tomorrow morning. Yeah. Thanks for sticking around and doing the SPAC things. Oh, my pleasure's all on this side of the table. I tell you what about that Barak. There's a straight shooter with upper management written all over him. Ooh, yeah. I'm going to have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there. He's been real flaky. He's also been having problems with his thermal protection system reports. Doing space and the other things, not because they're easy, but because they are hard. Yes. 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 Very nice. Very nice. Okay, what else do we got? What else do we got? Anything else? There's this picture in case you wanted to see it. It's got a really nice golf cart in it. Ooh. Centaur 5s. Look at them all in a row there. I'm going to take the one in the center. She's perfect. Does it make a difference? Oh, what? Is this your first time? Oh, Chad, I can't believe you've never been cow tipping before. Hey, look. Cranes. Yes. 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 Does the flag come with it? Well, they paint one on the side. Yeah, ULA has a lot of Vulcan launches lined up. Centaur assembly line, baby. That one has the engines installed. Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why? Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, there's some cranes up there, too. I like cranes. You guys like cranes? I like cranes. Did you get to this Rocket Lab thread the other day? Wow. No, that was the next thing that I had teed up, though. All right, so this is, while we were talking about Rocket Lab, we were talking about it just a second ago. The information's coming in a little fragmented, but I did like this tweet to remember that I would, you know, to remember to share it. Do you remember? I remember. Neutron, which is Rocket Lab's next generation vehicle, human rated, might I add. Neutron's launch site is taking shape. What we're gearing up for the next Electron launch from Wallops in the coming days, here's what the Neutron team have been up to on the new pad right next door. The pad that we just saw Electron on is right there. That one. With the dude that was pushing the rocket, that was right there. This pad here is where Neutron is supposed to be. Neutron is Rocket Lab's next generation reusable human rated rocket, which is pretty freaking cool. And then you can see this other pad down here. That's a Minotaur launch pad. I'll be a Minotaur. So, interesting thing about this. Rocket Lab's launch complex is the only launch complex I think I've ever seen that has a service road going right through it. Yeah, the service road for the Minotaur launch pad is just goes right through. I don't know why you just wouldn't get rid of that road and just use that road. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. Which one had Antares blow up on it? Antares blew up right there and landed right there. There's still a hole where there's still kind of a crater where it left. You can kind of see it right there. That's more from the flame trench than anything, but yeah, right there. Yeah, like right in this area where that big scuff mark is. That was a long time ago. That was 10 years ago. We'll be live streaming a Neuralink update today at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. 2:30 p.m. Pacific? That's 5:30 Eastern. That's almost 6:30 Eastern. Damn. You guys want to watch it? Like, yeah, I remember when CS24 blew up. That was or not CRS24. That was CRS24. It was CRS3, I think. I remember when Antares popped, though. Do you remember? Oh, I remember. Sure? It could go either way? I probably shouldn't say that. Yeah, whatever. We're here anyway. You know, I've noticed anytime we cover anything with Elon in it, somebody has a compulsive need to tell me that they don't like him in the chat, and nobody ends up focusing on the subject matter of said interview. As long as not too many people do that, I'm cool with it. All right? But yeah, I don't need to be reminded about how you don't like him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of there for the tech. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know, Alleviate. It's just, I don't really want to make my mods' jobs harder than it is. You know what I'm saying? I thought Neutron was going to use the existing Antares pad. Or is that just speculation? Yeah, I thought they would too, Squishin, but MLV, that other thing that I had here with the Firefly engines, that's using pad 0A. So yeah, this is a new pad that they're building out here. Apparently this is a thread though. I'll get through this real quick and then we'll watch the Neuralink stuff. Neutron's water tower has arrived at LC3. The 283-foot, 86-meter tall tower has a 200,000-gallon capacity to feed Neutron's deluge system, which protects the pad from the intense heat and vibration from the Archimedes engine on liftoff. Oh, pumper truck! Pumper truck! Hell yeah, pumper truck! Love construction equipment! I played with Tonka trucks as a kid. I don't know if you could realize that. Dude, pumper truck. Awesome. Freaking cool. Concrete is flowing fast on the launch mount. A dedicated new pad for Neutron designed to enable rapid turnaround between missions. Dude, how deep do you think the slab is for a freaking launch pad like this? We know that the pilings for like super heavy go down 30 meters, right? I mean, Neutron isn't as big as Starship, but this is very wet terrain, so I'll bet you that's a heck of a slab right there. Oh, 2 pumper truck twins, Basil. Twins, Basil. So, what's a concrete pumper truck? A pumper truck has a cherry picker arm, right? And then there's a pipe that goes up it. And then what it has down here is a concrete impeller. So the cement truck, just in case anybody cares, like if you don't care, whatever, just ignore this part. The cement truck is the concrete truck is mixing the concrete, and when it changes direction and starts pouring it out the back, it pours it into a little reservoir on the pumper truck. The pumper truck has a corkscrew impeller that pumps concrete up this. And then it comes down and out of this tube, so you can spread concrete over a large surface area, and you don't have to worry about spreading it by hand, brooming the dang thing out. You still got to broom it out to an extent, but you don't have to do it as much with this. You can easily distribute it more so it gets smooth. I don't know the technical industry terms, but yeah, that's the gist of it for the most part. Nice catch, concrete versus cement, dude. I always get those two mixed. You need cement and yeah. Cement, aggregate, and water to make concrete. Yes, it's not cement. Cement is different. I always get those two mixed. Oh. This is your fault too. I'm blaming you guys. This is your fault. Stop doing that. Just pun not intended. Damn it. People started saying it. I'm like, mixed. Oh, no. Oh, sweet. What do we got here? Look, 2 pumper trucks. Sweet. So this is probably the structural bits that hold it up, and the flame trench is probably going right here if I had to guess. The best ones always are. We're your community. Who's really at fault here? I don't like puns. I don't like them. They're annoying. All right? It's dad humor. Okay? No. I mean, it's kind of funny at the same time. But I'm in this weird spot where I'm not at dad humor levels either, but I'm not at Zoomer humor levels either. I'm in this just weird spot in between. So I don't know how to feel. Anyway, I don't care. I just like making a big deal out of it because it's funny. So just a 5-minute drive from the pad, the Neutron Integration Facility is under construction. It's from this facility that completed Neutron rockets will roll out to the pad, taking to the skies. Yeah, it's very much under construction. Fun fact, there were chicken coops here before this. Yeah, that's what those lines are. Yeah, I've been down this road before. Except both. That's lit. What is this? A relevant XKCD? Not relevant, but yeah, okay. Lunar Orbit Rendezvous. Spacecraft orbits moon, drops lander. Chosen by the Apollo program. Yep, LOR. EOR. Large lander, assembled in Earth orbit via several launches. Travels to moon. Rejected for requiring multiple Saturn V's per landing and potentially taking longer. Direct descent. Lander launched from Earth directly to the moon. Rejected for requiring an unreasonably large rocket. Lunar Earth Rendezvous. Moon transits to rendezvous with spacecraft in low Earth orbit. Rejected because I guess no one thought of it? Yeah, LER. That's clearly the best one. That's clearly the best one. Yeah. That's good. They made a movie about that, Moonfall? Oh. Ugh. Where's that Neuralink update at? Will the Neuralink enable us to download memes directly into our brain? Yeah, but what about spyware? Neuralink is live. Okay.
Bliss, and I'm an engineer at Neuralink. And I'd like to introduce you to the first ever user of the Neuralink device. And I think you're my only telekinetic friend that I have.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, not many more of those out there. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Nolan Arbaugh. I'm 29 years old. About 8 years ago, I was in kind of a freak diving accident and dislocated my C4, C5. So I'm a complete quadriplegic. So I'm paralyzed from below the shoulders. I have no sensation or movement below my level of injury, so below my shoulders. Yeah, that about covers it, right?
Do you want to introduce some of your dogs here? Let me flip
Yeah,
the camera so you guys
absolutely.
can see. You got dogs all over the place.
Yeah, that's Montana. The one walking by is Grace. Gracie!
Gracie, come here.
Hi, Grace.
How's it going, Gracie? Yeah.
Hopper! Oh.
All right.
Oh, look at the puppy.
Yeah, they just here for the dogs. All right, yeah, so while he's been introducing himself, let me just flip the camera around so you can see what Nolan's been doing.
Yeah.
Let me come over here. Do you want to explain a little bit what's going on here?
Yeah, so I love playing chess, and so this is one of the things that y'all have enabled me to do, something that I wasn't able to really do much the last few years, especially not like this. I had to use like a mouse stick and stuff, but now it's all being done with my brain. If y'all can see the cursor moving around the screen, that's all me, y'all. It's pretty cool, huh?
Actually, can you pause the song just for the audio coming through?
There we go.
And that was also done with your brain?
Yep. It's all brain power up there.
Can you explain a little bit just to people who maybe don't have any context on this field or what's going on here?
Yeah.
How are you able to actually move the cursor?
Yeah, so we started out with trying out a few different things. We basically went from what we call kind of differentiating, like imagined movement versus attempted movement. So a lot of what we started out with was attempting to move. So I would attempt to move, say, my right hand, left, right, forward, back to move. And from there, I think it just became intuitive for me to start imagining the cursor moving. Basically, it was like using the force on a cursor, and I could get it to move wherever I wanted. Just stare somewhere in the screen, and it would move where I wanted it to, which was such a wild experience.
This guy wants to know if you feel like a wizard.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. It really is. It's so cool. I'm so freaking lucky to be a part of this and stuff. I mean, every day it seems like we're learning new stuff, and I just can't even describe how cool it is to be able to do this.
Do you want to briefly talk about a little bit, I guess, what have you been using this for outside of these sort of research sessions or when you're just playing chess? What are some other things you've been getting value from this from?
Yeah, so one of the first times y'all gave me complete control over this, I actually stayed up until, I don't know, like 6 a.m. playing Civilization 6. It was worth it. I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
All right.
I had basically given up on playing that game just because of how, it's a big game, and the amount of time that it takes to sit in on it it's just a lot, and I have to worry about a lot of things, getting pressure sores and things like that. So I just wasn't really able to play it as much as I wanted to, and y'all gave me the ability to do that again, and I played it for, like 8 hours that day. So I do that. I
It's
read
like
sometimes.
6 p.m. to like 2 a.m. or
Yeah,
something. It's like,
it was a lot.
I'm giving you all my bad habits, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it was
Nice.
awesome. So I did that. I read. I like learning languages. I'm learning like Japanese right now. I'm learning a bit of French.
Nanda kore.
Maybe for the audience who isn't super familiar with assistive technology, why couldn't you play Civ before? What was tricky about that, or what was it about the Neuralink that made that possible for you?
Yeah, so one of the big things, honestly, was that I think I just got checkmated. The only way I could play it was through pad, and that didn't
Rook.
allow me to play
Move the
online
rook.
at all, so that kind of sucked
Sorry.
to begin with.
Sorry.
Would you play that like at 2 a.m. before, or what was the?
Oh no, there
restriction
was no way. There was no way for me to do that. Because when I'm sitting up playing on, say, like my iPad or something, I need complete help from, say, my like parents or something to do it. And
That's awesome.
I just didn't have that capability to like keep them up all night. That's just not something I would ever want to do. So basically, I would have to go down when everyone went to bed in my house, my brother, my parents, something like that. And then on top of that, I can only play for a few hours at a time because, I have to worry about pressure sores and stuff. I have to be readjusted. I have to do weight shifts, things like that. Just things that come with being a quadriplegic and stuff. So it just wasn't really feasible for me to like say play a full game or anything. And now I can literally just lie in bed and play to my heart's content. Honestly, the biggest restriction at this point was like having to
Nice.
wait for the implant to charge once I used all of it. So play for 8 hours, have to get off and let it charge for a while, and then hopefully be able to play some more. But it's been awesome. It's been so cool, and I'm kicking ass too. So
yeah, my God! All right.
And then maybe just one final question. Your mom was showing me a bunch of pictures of you in different Halloween costumes over the years. It's something that you go nuts on. So now that you have like actual, force control over stuff, I guess that opens up the possibility space there a bit. What are you thinking to dress up as this year?
Terminator.
I mean, something my friends and I have been wanting to do for a while. I think I'm going to be Professor X. I think that's pretty fitting.
Good choice.
Not only because he's in a wheelchair, and I think that just obviously fits perfectly, but now I'm actually a telekinetic, basically. Yeah, and so it's going to be cool. It's going to be real cool. My friends and I are really excited.
You're going to freak people out when you say trick or treat.
I know, right?
Okay, I think that's it for today. Anything else you wanted to add before signing off? We got more work to do. A lot to learn about the brain here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. I would say that we have run into some issues. I don't want people to think that it is, like, this is the end of the journey. There's still a lot of work to be done. But it has already changed my life, and I think that people who are thinking about, saying, applying for the human trials or are thinking about, finding some way to help out with this, to, do your part. And that's the reason I got into it, was because I just wanted to help. I wanted to be a part of something that I feel like is going to change the world. I think...
Yeah, dude,
like,
homeboy's got a
nothing to
notch
be
shirt
afraid
on.
of with that.
Just
the
saying.
surgery was super easy. I literally was released from the hospital a day later. I have no cognitive impairments. Well, I guess none that were caused by the surgery.
I beat you in chess once, so
yeah. I do have a pretty good record in chess right now. As far as just but I just think that it's really awesome, and I want to thank Neuralink for doing this, for working hard every day to make this, a reality. I think that they are going to change the world, be a part of it. So thanks, guys, and I'm looking forward to releasing some of this on.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to end here, but we're going to plan to release more in the coming days. So if you want to stay in touch with what's going on here and hear more from Nolan and his work, just follow along here on Twitter. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
He called it Twitter.
Neuralink for doing this, for...
He called it Twitter. Dude, that's so freaking cool. That's pretty rad. Wow. Rip. I can't believe that. That guy was playing chess by just sitting there. Damn, that's cool. Wow. Welcome to the future, I guess, dude. That's pretty neat. Excuse me, when controlling Dragon 2 with mind. That's cool. Did he get it for a specific reason to help him do something or just purely human Yeah, he's quadriplegic. The guy can't move anything from the neck down. He can do this. And that's about it. Do we know if it's human-mouse interface, or could he access hotkeys with Neuralink as well? Just wondering if he could control W, asking for a friend. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that if I went and played like Counter-Strike and I had something like that, it would look like I was aimbotting. Because there's not a lot of bandwidth here between this and that. There's a bottleneck. Damn 1988 avionics. What are you going to do? Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's really neat. Dude. That's his target. Yeah, dude, it would be like, I'd go around the corner, just boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. Not as sharp as they used to be. Yeah, right? That's super freaking cool, man. That's awesome. Very, 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 very interesting stuff. All right, let's see. Is there anything else? Anything else? Let me just peep through. Now integrate that into an FPV drone. That would be something. I'm just looking through. Would Neuralink be able to help with things like Alzheimer's or dementia? I don't know if I know enough about it to be able to answer that question, dude, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. What Neuralink can do, so here's what I do know. And, you know, I don't have a lot of hair, so it's going to be easy to see. So right here, you have a layer in your brain. It's right here. It's like where a headband would be, or your headset. Right in this area here, right? Now, what is that? That's a motor cortex. So the motor cortex is basically the control center that governs motor functions. So anytime I want to like flip you off, for instance, right? Signals get sent from right there to flip you off, right? Hey, that's a good example, all right? Come on. It was pretty funny, right? So basically what's happening when you do that is you're firing neurons. There's a bunch of neurons in there, and neurons actually in your brain make connections. And when you fire an electrical signal down that neuron, that's the electrical signal for moving your fingers, like doing this. The crazy thing about that is the brain is software. You can write new code for it, if you want to look at it like that. That's called learning something. When you learn something, you're connecting neurons in there. And when you remember something, you're remembering that. So in the case of the motor cortex, you're remembering movements. So like giving a thumbs up or the horns. You know what I mean? So what does Neuralink do? So people that are paralyzed, all right, so where does that electrical signal go? It's a low voltage electrical signal. Like your brain is basically a biological computer. Right? You can write new software for it, right? If you want, like I said, if you want to look at it like that. So in the case of the motor cortex, it's firing off neurons in here. You're sending electrical signals down the neurons, and that goes down into the limbic part of the brain and into the cortex part of the brain right here. From there, it goes down your spinal column, which is inside of your vertebrae, and, you know, there's, you know, nerves that just connect to different things, like creating a circuit. Those nerves govern tendons. They pull on tendons. And that's how you move, and muscles too. But I don't want to get too far into the biology. So that's what happens. Like in the case of the motor cortex, like there's a bunch of other parts of this. It's a complicated piece of machinery, or well, you get the idea. It's super complicated, and this is what Neuralink is trying to understand. So what Neuralink does is they implant electrodes in there, and they're very, 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 very tiny. That's what Neuralink is changing. We can basically, dude, chimpanzees have played like tic-tac-toe with their mind in the past. But the problem is, when you implant an electrode in there, the brain is just so ridiculously complicated. Like, we don't even know, we still don't know exactly how it works. Like, I'm not going to say, like, oh, we don't know. No, we get the idea. The problem is that these neurons that are firing off and the electrical signals that get sent down are at such a tiny scale, it's really hard to kind of intercept the signal, I guess. What Neuralink is doing, and this is the big thing, they've made a tinier electrode. So, for instance, let's take Nolan there, like from the video, right? So Nolan is able to play chess by just sitting there like this, because C3, C4 is right here, if I'm remembering right. If you fracture that and you snap your spinal column, you damage the nerves, that's how paralysis happens, right? So the electrical signals are getting sent, but the wire is basically, if you think about nerves as like a wire, it's grounding out right there, so nothing happens, right? But that doesn't mean everything here isn't working fine. It's fine. It's just there's an interruption in the signal. So what Nolan is doing there is so this is where this gets crazy. Neuralink is implanted up there in his motor cortex, right? So it's up there at the very top, right? You couldn't see it because his hair grew over it, right? What that's doing is there are Neuralink implants in there, and they're intercepting the signals that are sent from the motor cortex. All he's doing is thinking about moving the mouse around. That's all he's doing. Like how you would move the mouse around with your hand, right? All he's doing is thinking about that, and it's moving the mouse cursor around. What Neuralink is doing is it's intercepting that signal sent from the motor cortex to your hand and interpolating it and applying it to the mouse cursor on the computer. That, once again, that's not a new thing, but what Neuralink is doing, the fidelity of the signal is where Neuralink is basically leading that medical field. So, like, because they're using a smaller electrode, right? They can get kind of further into the motor cortex. Like, here's the problem, all right? The deeper parts of your brain, so the stuff that's like in here, like down here, that's hard to get to. Part of the reason why we don't know how that works, right? Why we don't understand it is because no one can get an electrode all the way in there without basically lobotomizing somebody. That's the truth. Neuralink, because they have a smaller implant, can go further into the brain, and they can further decode the brain's signals. It's way more accurate. The fidelity is way more accurate. So like before, think about it like this, all right? So before Neuralink, you could interface with something like that, and the movements would be of this fidelity, right? It would just be very simple movements, right? Neuralink is like this compared to that. Compared to just ha, 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 Neuralink is this. See what I mean? So part of what Neuralink's stated goal is, and once again, this is what I mean about going deeper into the brain. We have to go deeper. They're trying to decode the brain waves. So what is a brainwave? Brainwave is all the electrical signals getting sent down neurons in your brain. There's a bajillion of them firing off all at once. And if you have ADD, it's even higher. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Change the channel, change the channel, change the channel. No, just kid. That was a joke. It's funny. If it wasn't, tell me to shut up. You're going to tell me to shut up anyway. Just do it. All right. So Neuralink has started with the motor cortex. Once again, everybody has one. It's up here. It's a role in your brain that's up here. It's up at the very top. That's actually the part of the brain that we know that governs movement. It governs motor functions, so moving around. So, because Neuralink has been able to go further in, they've been able to get a more comprehensive picture of all the different brain waves that are going on, all the different electrical signals that are moving around in there, because there's a lot. You're firing off bajillions of freaking neurons every second. Not bajillions. I don't know the exact number, but it's high. It's a lot, right? So, once again, I'll just reiterate. What Neuralink is doing with Nolan there is all he's thinking about is moving the mouse with his hand. He's quadriplegic, so he's paralyzed from here down. All he's thinking about is moving the mouse with his hand, and the cursor moves. Because they've been able to get the quality of signal sent by the motor cortex, they've been able to basically dial in the signal and get a nice clear signal from it, which is nuts. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That got like, once again, I feel I'm skeptical. Like, I understand that. That's nuts. That is absolutely insane. Like, that's pretty cool. If they find a way, so think about it like this, Flag. So could it help somebody with Alzheimer's? No, not kind of. So what Alzheimer's is when you have plaque build up in your brain. And I won't get into too much detail, but one, because medical is not my field. Video games are. Plaque building up in your brain, the simple way of saying this, it's way more complicated, it doesn't work exactly like this, and I understand that, is where plaque basically blocks the neuron. It blocks the electrical signal because there's crap, like think a clogged pipe. And that plaque building up in your brain, basically because the neuron's clogged, you forget stuff because you can't fire an electrical signal down it. Like cutting a wire. So you're saying you need neurosurgeon simulator to learn? Yes. Red Bull wipes out the plaque. Yeah, it blocks the synapses between neurons. That's the way to say it. I'm trying to keep it simple here. This thing is complicated. Very, very complicated. Like, dude, we don't even know how complicated it is. First of all, it's 3 brains from 3 different animals stacked on top of each other. Okay? You have a frog brain here, and then like a rabbit brain on top of that, or like a chimpanzee brain on top of that, and then you have your cerebral cortex on top of that. There's like frog brain, monkey brain, human brain stacked on top of each other. So the frog brain is the cortex. That's down here. Okay? We kind of know how that works because it's kind of at the surface. You can kind of figure that one out. Then there's limbic. The limbic functions. The medulla oblongata is where anger, jealousy, and aggression come from. Now, can anyone tell me where happiness comes from? That's the limbic functions. That's here. That's this part. And then you have your cerebral cortex on top of that. That's the human brain part. That's what separates us from everybody else. From every other animal, I guess. The medulla oblongata. Mama says that happiness comes down from magic rays of sunshine when you're feeling blue. Well, Mama's wrong again. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right. Yeah, Squishton, that is a little strange, don't you think? That's weird. But yeah, like right now, what Neuralink is focusing on is decoding the motor cortex. Now, I said that the neurons and the synapses, the electrical signals that get sent down the neurons in your brain, that's like software. The crazy part about our brain is that we can write new software for it. You write new software for it all the time. That's what learning is. I will contend to say this till I'm blue in the face without any medical background, that learning stuff is great for your brain. It's candy. It's candy for this thing. That's utilizing the gray matter. That's good for you. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. Learning stuff is good for this muscle. Let me put it to you like that. It's not a muscle, I know. More connections equals more better. I thought happiness comes from chocolate. Well, the funny thing is when you see chocolate, synapses are firing in your brain that associate that chocolate with good taste. And that taste releases a chemical in your brain that makes you crave it because your brain wants that happiness. True story. It's mostly fat. I'm flexing my brain. Dude, got so many wrinkles up there. Endorphins. Yeah, I don't know all the technical terms. Once again, medical is not my thing, but I do know at kind of a simple level how what's going on up there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, man. This is like a knife, a knowledge knife. You got to keep your knife sharp, mate. That's a knife, mate. Now I want chocolate. Yeah, dude, me too. Brain chemistry soup. So, yeah, we kind of understand how limbic functions work. So limbic functions is, the medulla oblongata. That's where like your cortex is basically the transmitter, right? That's your power substation. That sends power down your nervous system to make stuff like this happen. And then, make stuff like this happen. All right, anyway. I know that was pointing for you. Shh. It was funny, okay? Limbic functions are like emotions and stuff. That's where your emotions come from. Like anger, jealousy, and aggression. Yeah, learn something from the water boy. It's true. That's where your medulla oblongata is. So that's the frog brain part, right? That's not the monkey brain, actually, not frog brain. So that's what unites us with other mammals. Like dogs have a limbic part of their brain. What separates us from a dog is that on top of it, you have cortex. That's what makes humans human. Okay? No other animal has that part. But other animals do have limbic and cortex, right? That's what a mammal is. That's how we classify stuff, right? Yeah, the old bird brain. Yep. Yep. Yeah, if you poke certain things in the motor cortex, your arm will do this. This is why, sometimes if you see football players get a concussion, they do this. Because that's your brain dividing by zero. It's not good for you. Yeah. Dolphins have those too. Yeah, other mammals, yeah, that's right. Yep. Fish. So, where could Neuralink go with this? I mean, Squishton, you're already getting there. So, in theory, in the future, could they design a robotic manipulator arm on a spacecraft that connects to somebody with Neuralink, and an astronaut could control the arm by thinking about how they move their own arm on their body to manipulate whatever object? Yes. Sure. Finding that intermediary is what Neuralink is trying to do. They're trying to decode the signals for the brain. Here's the thing. Everybody has the same hardware up here. But because we all grew up differently, we all have different outlooks on life, right? We're all raised differently. I mean, the only person that would be very similar would be like a sibling or something, right? Or a twin. But even twins have different experience. Everybody has different software up here. That's what Neuralink is trying to figure out. Is there any kind of standardization here? So, do my neurons in my brain, in the motor cortex, for governing my right hand movement, are they similar to anybody else's? That's what Neuralink is trying to figure out. If they nail that, oh man, that's going to be a big deal. But that's kind of the stretch goal. What Neuralink's actual goal, I mean, partially by decoding certain parts of the brain. So, think about it like this. So, Nolan, right, the gentleman that we saw in the video, right? If they figure out a way to interpolate that signal and also transmit that signal, he has a severed connection in his spinal column right here. You put a jumper cable on there, he can move again. Simple as that. Crazy, right? If they can figure out a way to make a jumper cable, right? So you just basically bypass the severed connection, you could cure quadriplegics or paraplegics. That's ridiculous. And that's not even one of Neuralink's stretch goals. So guys, it's Neuralink, so it's the Elon company. Think about it like SpaceX. Falcon 9 is already amazing in its own regard. No other rocket has ever done what Falcon 9 has ever done. It is ridiculous by itself. That right there, bridging that connection, is the Falcon 9 of what Neuralink is trying to do. If they successfully figure out a way to decode synapses in your brain, right, and figured out any type of standardization there, well, dude, like in the future, you could, I mean, you want to be productive? You could just sit there in a freaking lazy boy and do your work on the computer. You want to type a paper? Just sit there and think about typing it, and there you go. Pop right out. Like, you could potentially do it faster than ChatGPT. Your brain works way faster than your hands do. Heck, sometimes my brain goes faster than the mouth. Like, the point is that, like, with humans, there are parts of the brain that don't interface very well. Right? They don't interface very well with other parts. Like, say you're like me and get annoyed with a video game. That's limbic functions going off if I rage quit out of something, right? Your cortex is saying, you really don't need to get mad at this, dude. Get freaking out is ridiculous. Like, why would you do this? Why are you getting mad at a video game, right? But the limbic function, sometimes the limbic part of your brain sometimes takes the cortex part of your brain and goes, shut the fuck up, you son of a bitch. It happens. That's why you see morons like on social media do stupid things. Limbic override. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what happens. Anyway, as someone with a muscle wasting disease, it's incredibly cool to see something like Neuralink, even if it's in its early stages. Yeah, Cyborg, the potential is nuts. Yeah, well, it's crazy. So yeah, Neuralink isn't doing necessarily anything new. We've been able to decode, saying they're not doing anything new is kind of ridiculous. They are doing something new. Being able to interpolate electrical signals from a brain and like use it to like control a computer, that's not anything new. What Neuralink is really revolutionizing is the fidelity about that. So think about it like you have an antenna in here in your brain, and that antenna is trying to, intercept signals that are sent by your brain. If everything in the past is like 480p standard definition, Neuralink's is like 1080p high definition. And if they keep going what they're going, maybe we'll get 4K. Maybe we'll get 8K. Like, that's what they're trying to do. And it's crazy that that dude is playing Civ with his mind. Think about that for a second. Dude, you think about how disgustingly good you could be at Civ by just click, 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 click. Oh, yeah. I got to think about... All you got to do is think about, like, shooting Gandhi in the face. Or nuking Gandhi, because if you don't, he's going to nuke you, right? And then just, it happens. Think about how good you could be at, like, Workers, or even Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, Fortnite, Fork Knife, right? You just, all your eyes have to do is see the guy over there. You see him, dead, in the blink of an eye. Done. StarCraft, yeah. What about Kerbal? Think about it, dude. Kerbal would be nuts. All I'd have to do is sit here and the shuttle launches. Just, that's nice, Like, then they ban you for cheating. Is that performance enhancing technically? Like, I don't know. So how do you change it? Is there wireless charging? So, long story short, the electrodes are Bluetooth, and you have a battery and a transmitter somewhere on you. Yeah. There's one streamer who does it, actually. Yeah. I'm sure there's a Black Mirror episode waiting to be written about a company dronifying an employee. Well, then Neuralink state... Yeah, I know what you mean. You're probably right. Somebody will do it, right? But Neuralink isn't really necessarily about writing software for the brain. It's about decoding software from the brain and decoding how our brains work. Read only right now, to speak in tech terms, Yeah, down the road, yeah, maybe. That'd be kind of cool. Be like the Matrix. Hey, I want to learn how to fly a Huey. All right, done. There you go. I have 10,000 hours of experience in flying a helicopter now. We're good. I mean, that'd be nice. Believe me, I've learned a lot of things from scratch. Doing it in 15 seconds would be really nice. That'd be really useful. But you know good and well somebody will abuse the hell out of that because we're humans. Limbic functions overriding logic. It happens. Sounding a lot like The Matrix. Mm-hmm. What is real? How do you define real? If real is just what you can see and touch, then real is just electrical signals that are being interpreted by your brain. Yeah, if I can think about it, you don't get replaced by ChatGPT, you get replaced by a person that can, like I said, bandwidth. These have low bandwidth. Just done. Yeah, Wolfie, yeah, there you go, right? It's pretty cool, though, isn't it? That's pretty neat, dude. We live in interesting times. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm sure people will have opinions about it that I don't want to hear. I'm sorry. Yeah. Future. Thank you, S. Future. You're an opinion. No, you're an opinion. What if I get hacked, though? Yeah, I don't know. Stationeer stream moment. Dude, that happened. All right. This is a good 2 hours of space news. Is it time for workers and resources? My favorite. My favorite. Shall we get more rockets? What is this? A tweet from NSF? Oh. Okay. Shall we go to jail? What do we got here? Sections of Starbase's second launch tower, located at the Sanchez and port sites, are waiting to meet up while repairs are ongoing at the launch site, and work on the Star Factory continues. Oh. SpaceX crane. Can I get a robot body with the strength of 5 gorillas? I'm sure somebody will do that. It's time to get into workers and resources. All right, guys. That's going to do it for Space News for the day. There's not a lot that's happened since yesterday, but yeah. I'm trying to get back into the groove. So Kerbal, Space News, After Hours games. After Hours, we're going to play workers now. I think they're going to get everything staged, and after the next flight, we're going to see that tower go up at lightning speed. Fish, I think that's, yeah. We're in agreements. Yep, concurrence. Yep, absolutely. Next project in Kerbal. I looked into doing a remote manipulator system with inverse kinematics and KRPC today. That's a cool thing to do, but I think it might take up too much of my time. Like, I think I bit off more than I can chew. That would be something that I would have to mess around with off stream for a little bit, but I'll get back to you on that. What I also want to do is look into ways to make a stock reusable starship. I think that could be useful. But if we do get the ARM thing going, I would like to run more shuttle missions. I think that would be really good. Wings Wednesday? Question mark. I flew the shuttle in Kerbal. The shuttle has wings. It's fine. Anyway, I'll get back to you on that remote manipulator system stuff. This is the Chernobyl.